Thank you very much.
Dan, one more question for you, and I think you've been informed about this, so I'm not letting any secrets out here. But what are your thoughts on receiving the Robert Barr Distinguished Advocacy Leadership Award at the Rock?
Dr. Len Getz asked me for the spelling, and I'm like, what is this about? And I've been holding it down because I want these remarkable women to share this award with me. These remarkable women who raise families after the early passing of their husbands or their loved ones. They're the ones who should stand beside me on this, or me stand behind them. It's more appropriate.
Dan's delivery of his 47-year-old message at the commemoration ceremony was so vivid that he brought us all right there in 1975 at the subcellar vaults and zero visibility of black smoke and almost no oxygen supply. Over the years, I took great interest in this fire and read many testimonials and news features about how it all happened. Collectively, there are so many lessons to be learned for the current and future generations of first responders.
You're a tough act to follow, Dan.
It's an impossible act to follow. That's why I'm like, do I really want to go on a show with Dan Noonan? Dan can do this by himself.
Chief, it took us months to figure out who we could bring on with Dan. That would be the perfect counterpart. So you've been perfect. And I'd love to just touch on the Mouth of the Dragon book one more time, because it really should be required reading. I would say by any firefighters coming into the job. It's extremely well written, and it's kind of a case study of several fires in different decades that involve toxic exposure. Chief, can you talk a little bit about why that book is so important?
Yeah, and it's an impossible book to get. So several years ago, when I first heard about that book, I was at a FDNY Fire Chiefs Association meeting. I want to say it's 2013, and they brought Deborah Wallace, the author, into the meeting to talk about it. And she's talking about these fires in ways that I had never heard them spoken about. I'm aware of the MGM fire, the Stouffer's Inn fire, all the fires that are in this book. I had been aware of all of them. I just never looked at them from the toxicological standpoint and how hazardous they were to us from that standpoint. And I'm sitting in there, and I ordered the book. I ordered it for like $10 because it's out of print, and I ordered it. Now you can't find it anymore. Unfortunately, like I said, it's out of print.
And there might be a couple of copies on Amazon if you're lucky.
There are, but every time they go cheap, I buy them. So I've been artificially inflating them because I've purchased at least 6 copies, and I give them away. I give them to people and just say, read it and please pass it on to another firefighter, because that book was very impactful to me. And I think it is something that we need to be aware of this.
Your gear is not a protective envelope that's impenetrable. There are going to be toxins that are going to penetrate your gear. First and foremost, as soon as you can, doff your gear, put your gear into a recovery bag, or get it cleaned, or put it in another compartment, whatever that is. When you get back to the station, make sure that you shower and put on clean clothing, right? So please do everything you can to protect yourself, and get your gear off, get it stowed, and get yourself showered.